Greetings, friends. It's What If Wednesday, and it is also a brand new year. So today we're talking about taking big, bold actions. In fact, if you want to expand your impact in 2023, bold action is a pretty good way to get there. And so I am excited today. I have a special guest with me. I'm going to introduce her in just a moment. I'm Mindy Odland, founder of the What If Up Club, and we are here every Wednesday with What If Wednesday to share some ideas, some tools, some strategies for getting from where you are to where you want to go. So creating that vision and then actually living into it. And full disclosure, when 2023 rolled around, I was not super excited about 2023. I don't know about you. I think I have some scarring left from 2020 where I got all excited about it's 2020. And then I'm like, it's 2020. So ever since then, I'm finding that when New Year's rolls around, I don't have quite the enthusiasm that I used to because I'm kind of like, okay, am I going to get excited and then get let down? So I don't know. You ever have that happen? But not this year. Two things happened this year that turned that around for me. One is the incredible visioning workshop that we did on New Year's Day. So if you missed that, it is in our YouTube channel. It's in our community, so you can access that. And if you didn't do it, it's a great way to kick off the year and to get excited about what 2023 holds for you, to create that vision. Second thing I did that got me super inspired was I went to New York City and I hung out in the afternoon with my very good friend, our special guest today, Robin Hackett. Hello.
Hackett. Hi, Mindy.
Thank you so much for joining me to kick off the year. This is so exciting.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So we're talking about bold action. This was like your idea. So I love this idea.
Yeah.
Talk about bold action. What does it mean to you? Why is it important to you? And how has it impacted you?
Oh my gosh, that's so many questions all in
or just one. Whatever.
I think when we talk about bold action, I don't realize that I'm taking a bold action when I'm taking the bold action, but other people point out to me, that's a bold action you're doing. So my bold action this past year was I moved to New York City from Texas. And I felt like because I was a certain age, oh my gosh, that's a big thing that you're doing. How could you do that at this age? Blah, 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 blah. But I think for me, I was feeling stagnant where I was. And I'll use the term that I heard before, divinely discontent.
Mm.
Like I had visions, I had dreams of what I wanted. And I didn't think that it could happen in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So I kept saying to the universe, okay, what's next? I don't know what's next. I have no idea. What am I doing? What's next? And lo and behold, a friend of mine calls me here from New York and says, Robin, I have this apartment. It has a second bedroom. Move to New York. Those were his words, move to New York. And so bing, that's what happened for me. Just those simple words. And so, of course, I didn't immediately say, oh, yes, I'll do that. Mm-hmm. But I knew somehow inside of me that was the answer, that it was time for me to make that leap. And if I wasn't going to, for some reason in my mind, if I wasn't going to do it when I did it, then I felt like, oh, my gosh, when am I going to do it?
Right.
So when in the past, when that's happened for me, when a door has opened like that, something that's just so straight in my face, move to New York. I mean, how can you deny that? Move to New York. So I sat with it. I went back and forth. It's kind of like when I moved to Colorado years ago, when you said, Robin, move to Colorado. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm frightened. And of course, with you, we what if upped it, like, what if blah, 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 blah. So that's an important aspect. And for me, I start to get like these divine inspirations or impulses from the universe that say, okay, call this person right now, do this, da, 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 da. So I got in action, but I didn't make up actions to do. I actually listened. So through meditation and being quiet, I listened. And in meditation, people don't realize that that's when answers come through. If you're just sitting quiet, you hear the universe go, oh, call this person or do this next or blah, 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 blah. But a lot of times we don't get quiet to wait for that to happen.
You don't. So I want to ask you about that. And as we do, I want to thank those of you who are watching. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for the comments. Thanks for checking in and saying good morning and letting us know that you're here. This is a new year. So this is like, I'm so excited to have you here, Robin, because having a special guest for What If Wednesday is very exciting. Robin
Yay.
is also going to be around so that after we share these tips and strategies, if you have questions for her, or if you want to what if up with us, right? Like live, the link is in the comments below and you can actually join us in the green room. So, you can click on it and there's a chance you can get onto our session here, which is super exciting.
Right.
Okay. So you were talking about taking bold action. And I have to tell you, the same thing happened for me in the sense that we had one of our members mastermind calls. We do the first Wednesday of every month for members of the What If Up Club. I'm in this call, facilitating this call. And at the end, I'm like, honey, it was really interesting. This was November 2020. I said, this was really interesting. A third of the people on that call, one of the things that was nudging at them was a cross-country move. I'm like, cross-country move came up oddly, frequently in this call. And the very next morning, two things happened. One, I get an email saying, your property in Colorado where you live is now worth, and I'm like, what? And at the same time, Sean is on this, Zillow, hot list for, here's a property that just came up in rural upstate, northern New York. And we're like, So we literally made the same bold, not exactly the same, but we made a bold decision that day. Do we want to do this? Let's
Right.
go for it. And then of course it takes some time to put all those pieces into place. But you're talking about like the meditation, the inspiration, the intuition.
Right.
What do you think stops us? Maybe we've got that divine discontent. Maybe we've got the intuitive nudge. But what are the things that you think, or what is the biggest thing that you think prevents people from taking those bold leaps?
Well, I think I guess I'd say for me, we have those thoughts of what are other people going to think? Like, oh, you're crazy. That's a crazy thing to do. So I think that's one thing that could stop me. But I've lived long enough to become very well acquainted with the yes in my body. Like there's this feeling that comes in that's like, you're supposed to do this and you're going to do this frightened, but you're supposed to do this.
Yes. Yes. Well, and honestly, that's one of the things as we do What If Up circles, that's one of the things that we teach when people practice this on a regular basis. One of the benefits of being in a What If Up circle, when people are sharing ideas and possibilities, is getting bombarded with ideas that you can't possibly do all of them. So you get really good at sifting through and finding the yes. Like, what is the no? What is the and what is the yes, yes, yes? I love this. Do it frightened. It's so hard to do, but yes, yes, yes. So in the comments, I'd love to hear what are the things that you find are obstacles to you for taking bold action. I know for me, I think this is a behavior. It's like, it'd be interesting to kind of drill down and say, what's the thinking behind it? But I will get myself so busy that I don't have an opportunity to even really sit with it. So for me, the busyness can very often be the distraction from the thing that is really calling me. I'm too busy. I have too much on my plate. So creating that space for the meditation, creating the space to listen, taking the walks or whatever it is.
Yeah, it could be a walk. It could actually be a walk. I was just thinking that because some people, they feel like in meditation, their mind starts chattering more than anything.
It can be lots of different things. So what are your top 3 tips? If you were to say, okay, here's Robin Hackett's best practices for listening, and then not just listening, but also, because I think a lot of us, we feel the nudge and we kind of know there's something that's calling to us, but taking that bold step, sometimes there's a bit of resistance to that. What's your advice?
Well, my advice with this is that eventually you have to trust yourself. You only have you. So you have to trust yourself, and you have to, for me, I always look back, well, this feels like when I moved to Colorado. This feels like when I've moved to Texas. This feels like when I moved to New York the first time when I was a young woman. It was like all steam ahead. Yes, 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 yes. And I was scared the whole time. So it's like, take action. That's a big thing. So listen.
Yeah, listen.
See what comes in. take action. So that take action means that for me, like I called the apartment that I'm in here in New York, like most people would say, you'll never find an apartment there. It's too hard, blah, blah, blah. It's too expensive, da, 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 da. So I ended up just picking up the phone and calling a friend of mine, not even for an apartment, because the apartment was already presented to me, but now it's like, well, how am I going to make a living? So I called a friend of mine that I used to work with in New York, and we talked, and then she said, oh, by the way, I have an apartment in the city that I own, blah, blah, blah. You can come and, and live in that apartment. So I followed calling her, but then she gave me a tidbit. And then, later on, I got an inspiration to call this particular school to teach private lessons. And it's like the woman was waiting for me to call her. Like the door just opened and she's like, come on. So, it's really taking those actions, and everybody has to do what I don't want to use the word safe. Some people say, oh, well, I have to have $5,000 in the bank before I move, or $10,000 in the bank. You've got to do what feels good for you in order to make that move, but you still have to keep moving. If it says yes and your body feels yes, keep doing the action. So
yeah, I love it.
Meditation, listening,
listening,
taking the action, and
yeah,
keep taking the action.
and then keep taking action. Yeah, I think it makes me think of the movie Hitch, where he's like here's how you pick up the women: you listen and respond, listen and respond. So it's kind of good advice for other things as well.
Yes.
Listen and respond, and then keep doing that,
Mm-hmm.
I love it. So I thank you so much for some fabulous comments coming in. Biggest issue is fear of failure for some.
I have an answer to that.
What's your answer to that?
The answer to that is, like, I once said to my mom, because I was contemplating making a move, and I said, what if I move and it's wrong? She goes, well, then move again. Or move back to where you were, whatever it is. Move again. So what did they say? Fear of making a wrong decision.
Mistake.
Boy.
What if there are no wrong decisions? What if it's just you do what you do? And what I love is, like, what if we could take whatever we do and use it for good? I mean, isn't that what the spiritual journey is all about? Is being able to take what's around us and use it for good.
Right.
I think there's also what I love about this this insight is there's also a level of trust here, a level of trusting that intuition. So how do you discern what's intuition, what's guidance versus what's maybe fear-based or ought to's or conditioning?
Okay, so intuition and inspiration is expanding. There is an expansive energy that comes with it that feels good. Mm-hmm. And anything else is contracting.
Yes.
It doesn't feel, something feels off. It doesn't feel good. So a friend of mine used to talk about the hell yes. Like someone says, I think I want to go do such and such. Well, if it's just I think, or it's kind of like, I don't know. Or is it hell yes? Oh, wow, that feels good. Oh, that seems really exciting to do that. So inspiration is expanding and it feels good, and anything else is contracts and you kind of are like, oh, I don't know. Da, 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 da.
I love it. So last week's challenge, each week in the What If Up Club, we're doing challenges starting with this new year. So like every single week we do this. So last week was the first week with the new year, and we did a release ceremony. That's in our on YouTube as well, and in our community. So we did this release ceremony, and the thing that I identified for myself that ties into this is letting go, what I've chosen to let go of. I'm stepping into focus. This is my word for 2020.
Wow.
Focus. But what I'm letting go of is that second guessing of, so I feel the calling. I know what I'm supposed to do. And when I'm in that zone, when I'm prayed up, when I'm taking the hike, when I'm feeling good, I get super excited about it. But in those moments when I'm tired, or in those moments where, something happened and now my energy's off, that's when I start to second guess. And so I think, just in terms of, is this divine inspiration? Is it expansive? Am I in an expansive state right now as I think about it? Or am I in that state of I'm looking at, okay, where's the money coming from? Or how am I going to do all this? The hows, because that's the constricted energy. And
that's the what if, that's the what if downing.
That's the what if downing.
Yes.
The constrictive energy. So I love it. Look at this. OMG, my ladies. You are such a take action gal. I so admire that about you. The universe comes up to meet you as well because of your actions. That's a great point.
That is a very, very good point. I was just talking with someone about that because in the past, when I wanted to move to a new apartment, but it's going to cost more money, blah, 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 blah. And people would say to me, well, how are you going to afford that? And I'd say the universe always meets me with new inspiration of ways to make more money to put into that new rent that I'm going to have to pay. So yes, the universe does meet you in a most amazing way. The other thing that I want to share is once you've made your decision, whatever that decision is, share with people that you trust. I think a lot of things happen in community. None of this would have happened had I not reached out to people and said, blah, 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 blah. I'm thinking of doing this. And they say, oh, well, why don't you this? Or why don't you that? It's the same as what if upping. It's the whole what if upping concept. It happens in community. And energy happens in community and things happen in community. And people say, well, I know this person. When you get there, call them, blah, blah, blah. So really important. It's not in isolation.
It's not in isolation. I love that. And I just got this. This is Alex. Alex, hey, thanks for joining. She's comments. She says, and Alex, by the way, the link's down below. So if you want to join us, talk about someone who takes bold action and makes amazing things happen. I know we had a meetup in Dallas, Fort Worth, and Alex was there talking about the big things that you're doing for 2023. So if you want to pop on and share your story, it's inspiring as well, and would love to have you. Yeah. The link should be down in the comments.
There's someone that popped up, Mindy, and said the feelings are what you move with.
Yeah. So
that's that person a little bit more.
The feelings are what you move with. Like we were talking about how, you go into your meditation, you feel that guidance, you feel that. I like the combination of the divine discontent and also the intuition that moves us beyond that.
Yes.
So to what degree is it what you're feeling? And to what degree is it, your mind saying, okay, I'm on board with that?
Well, for me, because everyone's different. I'm a heart-centered person. I've always gone with this right here. And then I think about the logistics, and then this pops in again, and then logistics, da da da. So for me, it's a balance of both. Okay.
And I love your story because the very example of, okay, I want to move to New York, and then here's the housing, so that's taken care of. So now you're on to the next thing, and then better opportunity or different opportunity for where you could be. So different things are showing up because you're taking action, but it's not like it all lands all at once. It's unfolding in front of you.
And that's the thing that's scary because, then you go, oh, am I really supposed to do this? Oh my gosh, da, 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 da. But there's something that just keeps, for me, my experience, there's something that just keeps pulling me forward. So I'm not sure if the person's asking, do you move with feelings? Because a lot of people are like, oh, that's crazy. But that's what it is.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And I know because Robin and I have been mastermind buddies for a long time. And I know when we what if up, one of the things I love about being in a what if up circle with you is that that's your go-to is the emotion and the feeling and the being and the presence. And my go-to is usually the strategy and the how-to. So together, I mean, you speak about community, but together it makes for a really, a balanced way of decision-making and being able to trust in those nudges that lead us forward.
I like that. The nudges. Yes. Yeah. The nudges that lead us forward.
Yeah. Because the nudge for different people can show up in different ways. I like to, I'm learning that I don't have to figure out the whole road. I'm learning that I can just see, okay, what's mine to do right now? Like I see the vision, I'm excited about the vision. And then I don't need to know all the how. I just need to know my next,
right.
Hard left or my next hit the gas or turn on the brakes or whatever it is.
I think For me, it would be, I mean, I wouldn't be anywhere in the world if I had fear of failure.
Mm-hmm.
I
Right.
mean, going back to what that person was saying, it's okay to fail. It's actually part of life. And it
Yes.
might seem like, oh, but what if I move across the country and it's the wrong move? Well, you can readjust.
Move
You can
back.
readjust whatever that is for you. And if that means you move back, and some people might think, well, that's crazy. Hey, it's just life.
Well, and the name of my book is What If It All Goes Right? And
Yes.
what it means to me in that context is, what if the whole move across, even if you end up moving right back, what if there was something that happened in that process that
Yes.
led you to greater clarity of where you want to be longer term? So what if it's not a wrong decision? It's just a decision that led you maybe not to the end game you thought, but it's leading you somewhere that you wouldn't have been otherwise.
Right. Right.
Trusting the
Right.
process. Trusting the process. So I want to do a plug for your fabulous book. It's called, let me pop this up here so people can see it. It's called The Creative You. This is by Robin Hackett, who is a singer-songwriter extraordinaire. She also is a screenwriter. She writes fiction. She writes nonfiction. This one is the one I read in December, and I love it. Thank you for the shout out for what if upping, because you do talk about what if upping in here.
I do.
And I also love this for anyone that you know who may be like wanting to do something that's bold and taking those big actions, but they're nervous about it. They're feeling like you said, Robin, like, I don't know if I can make a living as a musician, like go to New York
Right.
City and be a musician or be a
Right.
screenwriter, or, that sounds like, our normal culture would say, oh, that's really risky. That's, do you dare follow those nudges? And
Yes.
this is a book that tells a story of someone who did, and here you are. And here you
And it
are.
was a bold move, wasn't it? When I was 23 is pretty much when
Yes.
I made my first big bold move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and this is great. So I often tell myself that this is not a question for today, Alex, when I feel overwhelmed by the plan. This is not a question for the today, Alex. This is for the vision of the
Vision.
and that's such a beautiful thing in terms of that's why we have the vision, so that we can align with it and embody it and
Right.
make those decisions from the embodiment of the vision that we're stepping into.
Yes. And you can, going back to the book, you can get that book on Amazon. Yes. And please go check it out. It's just,
Yeah.
now that I think about it, I think I should go back and read it myself.
Yeah, it's really good. It's a great, it's very inspirational in terms of, especially if you're sort of at that crux of, do I do it? Do I not? And that's an uncomfortable place to be when you want to do it, and then your brain is kind of talking you out of it, like,
Yes.
because how would I?
But then it's also, for me, it's like, well, then if I don't do it, then it's accepting the status quo where I am right now. And
Right.
it does that feel good?
Right.
And
So
that may
it's called,
not. Yeah.
oh, The Creative You is the name of the book, The Journey to Setting Her Free. You can share this with anybody. It's Robin's story, and it's fantastic. So Robin is going to stick around. If you have questions for us, if you want to what if up with us, I have a challenge for the week. Before I lay down this week's challenge tied to today's topic, quick announcements for our membership. Just a reminder that for those of you who are maybe you want to join a local What If Up circle, but there's just not one in your area. This Saturday, we are doing our first circle leader training of the year. So you can sign up for that. If you're interested in learning more, just in the comments, give me a hashtag circle leader or training, and I'll give you some information about how to join us Saturday for that. Also coming up, January 20th is the kickoff for our brand new certification program. So if you are a coach or a speaker or a retreat facilitator or an organizational leader and you want to bring this into your teams and you want to get certified to do that, January 20th is when our training, our certification training kicks off. And if you're interested in that, then give me a hashtag certification in the comments and I'll follow up with you on that as well. So lots of exciting ones.
Yes, and also in addition, for those people that might be on that aren't familiar with this at all, Mindy has a book called What If It All Goes Right? Do you have it right there?
Oh, it's behind me. So here we go. It's never far away. Never far away. La, la, la.
Yeah. So her book, What If It All Goes Right, is kind of where the all of the What If Wednesday is. So if you don't have an idea of what if, it's all about possibility. And we what if up, and a lot of people in our society tend to what if down. So they come up with an idea and they go, well, what if it doesn't work out? Well, what if this happens? Or what if, and it goes down, 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 down. What if upping is what are the possibilities of this manifesting, of this happening? And
Yes.
so I just wanted to share that with people that might be on here that have no idea what if up is.
I love that. I love that because I guarantee you, if your mind goes down that dark spiral of what if downing, what if I can't, what if this isn't the right time, then the nudge will go away.
Yes,
You know,
absolutely.
the nudge will go away and you'll just keep doing what you do. And we just kind of get into that unconscious cycle. So
Right.
the way to break out of that cycle is to allow yourself to think in a broader, more expansive way. And that's what we do we do it, here's the process. You can use it on your own, but when you use it in community, it is totally next level.
Yes. Yeah.
Totally next level.
Wonderful.
So the challenge for the week, and it's so funny, Robin, I have to tell you, when I was thinking about this week's challenge, my first thought was, I should have everyone identify a bold action they could take, that ties to their vision. And I'm like, identifying a bold action is not super bold. I mean, it's a step, but I'm like, that seems kind of safe for a theme around bold action. It seems like maybe we should take a bold action.
Yes, we should take the bold action.
Take the bold action. So that is the challenge of the week. For those of you in our community, if you're not in the community, join. Like step one, join whatifup.org. We have a new app that has our community in it, and there are challenges there. Just go to the challenges tab and you will see this week's challenge. And then once you take that action, just, take a picture or post a video or just make a comment and let us know what happened and what was the impact. So what did you do and what was the impact, so that we can start conditioning our brain to see that when we are courageous and take that scary step, maybe it's scary, but as we start doing it, it gets less scary and it gets more exciting.
Yes. And I do want to share with people, a bold action doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to equate to moving across.
Move to New York, right?
Whatever is scary for you. Like I have, there's a bold action that I want to take that involves a celebrity, and I have fear around that. Like, who am I to call this celebrity or get a hold of this celebrity? So it could be as simple as a phone call, like Mindy said.
So are you going to do it? Are you going to do it this week, Robin? Are you going to make
I am going to, no, I'm not going to do it this week. And there's a reason why, because I want to go over my screenplay a little bit more.
Got you.
I could possibly do it this week, but I'd like to go over my screenplay a little bit more and get some more eyes on it before I send it out.
Okay, so maybe
I can come up with what other bold. I haven't, since I've moved to the city, I have not performed out. So I'm going to take the action of finding a spot to perform and go and sing by January 15th. By January 15th.
Excellent.
Yes.
I love that. Well, for me, it's about phone calls too, is reaching out and letting people know about our certification program and putting myself out there, because I tend to get very locked into, very comfortable behind the scenes. And it's time. It's about that time to get out. And you know what else I'm going to do is I just felt this like popped into my head is I'm going to update my profile and for getting on some podcasts I have this profile. So I'm going to actually solicit some podcast guest spots as we go here. So those are I'll make those 2 commitments for my bold action, and we'll share it in the community once we take the action. We can share what happened. Think about what you want to do and then do it. Just do it.
I love it.
All right. So I want to open it up. If anyone has questions, if anyone wants to what if up with us, I know. Thank you so much for being here. I hear this is from Alex. I think, Robin, you are such a joy, honey. I know it's Alex because I know she would call you honey. I'm so thrilled that I caught this. Yes.
Yay, Alex.
These comments are so great. Inaction is a choice as well. Robin, I reached out to a famous artist that I have been so inspired by for years and asked her to collaborate on Instagram.
I love that.
She knew me and was thrilled to do it, and it went super viral.
Woo!
Unbelievable for me. Yes, that is Alex is sort of a role model for bold action as well. So
Is that Alex?
perfect that she was drawn to this. So that's the challenge. And Robin, I know you inspire me with your music. Share something. I know you've got your guitar ready to help for those of us who are like, okay, I'm there, I'm on the edge, I'm feeling kind of excited, but what's going to push me over the top? A Robin Hackett song. So
I'm not going to sing the whole song, but just the gist of it. So, and yeah, I wrote this many years ago, but it's still relevant. This is the moment. This is the hour. Time to put everything on the line. And I am the answer. I have the reason. I'm a believer. It's all inside of me. And I will not be broken by some fear. And I will not stand still again, no. And I won't fall apart like all those times before. 'Cause I can't take it anymore. 'Cause this is a revolution. I am a changer. I am the master of all I see. And I'm the beloved. I am the lover. I am the spirit inside of you and me. And I will not be broken by some fear. And I will not stand still again. And I won't fall apart like all those times before. 'Cause I won't take it anymore. This is your moment. This is your moment. Time to put everything on the line. This is your moment. This is your moment. This is your moment.
Robin Hackett, thank you for joining me for What If
You're
Wednesday.
welcome.
Thank you all for being here, and I hope you'll join me every Wednesday for What If Wednesday. Subscribe so that you get notifications, join our community, hang out with amazing people like Robin Hackett, great What If Uppers all around the world. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for sharing your comments, and Happy New Year. Here's to taking bold action in 2023. Thank you, Robin.
Thank you, Mindy.
Great to have you here. Bye, everybody.